Welcome everyone to this session. As Lars said, thank you Lars for intro. This is not about serverless technical session. We want to have a little bit of change. And the reason we want this, because no matter what you work on, serverless, Cube, anything, at the end of the day, you're here in the company to add value to the businesses. So if you're not able to manage the product, project, if you're not able to drive the outcomes and finish your initiatives, nobody cares about what you worked on. So I want to give you a little bit of leadership tips today. And you don't need to be manager necessarily to benefit the tips, but they're high-level tips. So I'm not going deep to any of them, but I'm here. So if you feel that some of the topics are interested and you want to know more, please come and talk to me. So I have to admit, I'm not a fan of, traditional presentations. I like to be more interactive and talk to you and talk back. So please scan this QR code and you will join me on the slides. So you can like the slides, you can answer my questions, and you can potentially ask any questions to me and I can reply if you have time. Are you all ready? Did you scan? Let's try. So, tell me, who is doing what here? Are you a developer? It can be staff engineering, principal, engineers. Are you engineering managers, team lead, tech lead? Or you're from business? Business analysts, project manager, PMs, product manager. Okay, 16, 7, almost, I think you're more than this, so try better. 27, okay, getting there. Nice. Perfect, okay. So the majority of the room are ICs, individual contributors, which is good. Potentially, this should be familiar to you. Delivery frustration. I wish I could get some of you on the stage so you could role play with me, but we don't have time for that. So I want to show you a conversation between project management and stakeholders in general with a developer. And tell me if that sounds familiar to you. Kate, PGM, Jack, developer. Kate needs some time for the project. And Jack said, it depends on many factors. It's complex. I can't give you time. Please, just a little bit of timeline, a little bit of estimation. No, I can't. My gut feeling says soon, but I don't exactly know when. 2 months, maybe 6 months, not much different. And that makes the project managers quite mad and nuts. So does it sound familiar to any of you? Beautiful. Okay, so we want to avoid this situation as an engineer. What can we do? I want to tell you some real stories that I had some challenges with my team, and then we, managed the project in a way that we wanted. So my team in Atlassian is called Micros. I'm running the platform team, and if you know about the platform team, we potentially, expose some capabilities to engineers so they can use those capabilities to deploy and operate their services into the cloud. So we sit between cloud and other Atlassian engineers. Thousands of services use our capabilities. Atlassian decided to move all the customers' data to cloud a few months ago. And that was a big project touching many teams, including my team. We needed to create new point of presence in different regions, create new regions for compliance perspective, and we needed to expand our architecture design, because if you are working with the platform team in a higher scale, you know that how quickly you get into the rate limiting. So with the AWS accounts, the account is getting so overwhelmed quickly. And we needed to come up with an architectural design to distribute the load into different accounts. So one account is not getting overwhelmed and we don't get into rate limiting. So we had to change our design. 2 projects at the same time, both of them quite complex. So before I came to Atlassian, I was using all the Atlassian website, and I know that they're good with agile project management. I was happy. I wouldn't have no problem. I walked the team through the, project. And when I say project, it can be any service you expose to your customers. It can be a product you want to deliver. But in general, I call it project. I walked them through this project called Dare, and I asked them, be happy. Everything is good. We are going to smash it. Obviously, I underestimated the complexity and the ability of my engineers to deliver value. So everyone were upset and stressed, and these are all the quotes and feeling that I got from my team. I'm stressed and I feel overwhelmed by the scope of project. The other one said, I'm distracted. All the stakeholders keep messaging me and asking for the updates. I don't know what to do. At the same time, a stakeholder contacted me and said, your team is not working, with us. We don't know what is the state of the project. So it was a kind of a mess. And this is the state that we were in. Internally and externally, everyone was just shouting that we are not ready to deliver. Take a few seconds, please, and tell me what would you do as a leader in this situation? And when I say leader, again, you can be a senior engineer in the team. You are stuck with all the team that they cannot deliver value. What would you do? Just tell me some of your opinions. Oh, when you see the yellow screen, please look at your phone and just submit your answers. If you don't have the slides on your phone, please scan this QR code. Okay. What was that? Lead by example? Leave, okay, yeah, that sounds like a solution. Ask ChatGPT, okay, that's good. At that time, it wasn't that active, people weren't active. Calm, okay, take a step back and calm, break it down, engage a lawyer, that makes sense too. Delegate, do the retro, set the expectation, perfect, okay. Let's go through some of them. So as a leader, again, like tech lead or team lead, you need to come up with the solutions when your team are blocked. You can be a coach, playing a role of coach, coaching individuals. Maybe the problem is your team, you need to connect them better with each other. Maybe it's a conductor muscle you need to get, use because people don't know how to deliver the value. Anyways, any situation probably have some, any problem probably has some solutions. So these are 4 characteristics that myself and my team came up with. Accountable team, agile team, healthy and focused team. And I realized that these are the lack in my team, and I need to build those ones. Let's go through one by one quickly. How would you make an accountable team or engineer? You don't want to micromanage people to make them accountable, right? You want to create the situation for them to be accountable. One solution is getting them connected with the stakeholders. We usually are so disconnected. We don't know even who they are. Like they're so passionate, enthusiastic. This is the best work we have to do. But developers, they don't know what is that about, why they're so enthusiastic. So this is the two-way communication and connection. Also, stakeholders usually don't get any response from the engineers, and they think they don't work, they don't do anything. This was the mistake that my team did as well. So in the beginning, all the stakeholders were so enthusiastic, and we were like, what's happening here? So I ran a half-a-day kind of ceremony, or we call it workshop. I got all the business and the engineers together, and we did a little bit of kickoff sessions. We call it Wonder Ceremony. In this session, we understand what is this business value, what we are trying to achieve, what is the customer impact, what revenue we are going to generate. So making sure that we actually are on the same page as the stakeholders. So if you are an engineer and they don't do this wonder session for you, please ask for it. You can always get them to walk you through that. At the same time, obviously, developers don't know how to communicate with the stakeholders. Usually, yeah, I'm fine, I'm on track. So please tell me, how would you usually communicate with your stakeholders? How you make sure that you keep them updated about the risks, the progress, and you raise them early with them? What is your approach? Okay. Nice. Async tools, many people use it. Chat and messages. Yeah, maybe. I don't know why it doesn't show, but 20 people say weekly sync messages. Okay, so I'm not going to focus on this. Pretty much you know how to do. I just show you one new async tools that we use it in Atlassian, and it's called Atlas. So any, let me see why it's not moving. For some reason it stuck. Okay, there we go. So Atlas is the product from Atlassian. Whenever we create any epic or project, I'll tell you about it, we actually create one Atlas ticket as well. It tells everyone what is this project about, what is the scope of the project, what is the success criteria look like, and it has like weekly update reminder, so engineers update the ticket on weekly basis, and the stakeholders get the results from all the projects on Monday mornings. So they can see the dependency, if there is anything not going well, they can see that. So these are the tools that you can potentially leverage if you don't have it. In my leadership experience, I realized most of the conflicts, problems, and lack of accountability comes from lack of roles and responsibilities, clear roles and responsibilities, which means that you think the other person is doing that and they think the same. What I did with my team, another 2 hours workshop, everyone just went on the board, put on the stickers and said, this is what I think I should do in this project. This is what I think it's my role in this project. And at the end, everyone corrects each other. If there is a role missed, they remind each other. If they're not aligned, they talk about it and they discuss and they adjust the roles potentially. Because there are some roles overlapping each other in engineering teams too. Cool. I'm going to talk about the next pillar, which is agile teams. So people don't like agile because they think it's bullshit. And I want to tell you, yes, unless you consider this agile triangle. This is really important for the agile teams. We have 3 aspects in the projects: time, people, and scope. If one of them is fixed, you should work with 2 variables. Usually people think, oh, the time is fixed, the budget is fixed, people is fixed, what should I do? It's not. You need to go back and negotiate with your business. Of course, everyone in the beginning said everything is fixed, but you can negotiate. And here you are when you need to have a better presentation skills as an engineer. So you need to go through, say, okay, the time is fixed, I need more people, I need to de-scope and limit the scope. So it's a negotiation here. Incremental delivery is another agile feature that if you don't consider, you will fail. And by that, I mean, Sheen talked about MVP in the morning and breaking down complexity. I would go one step further. Even if within the MVP, you need to break it down into incremental delivery, which, like in Agile, we call it epics. So potentially your MVP, even if it's 3 months delivery, it should be broken down into epics, like you say, 5 epics. And each epic should be deliverable in 1 or 2 sprints. So everything is quite small and measurable. I can talk about you after the talk on this. Tell me, what agile rituals do you use in your team? They're boring, right? Wasting your time, just keep being in the meetings. Why should you do that? But tell me, which one do you use? And I want to see if you're efficiently using or not, because agile rituals are the most important thing in the engineering teams. Okay. Stand up, I know it's pretty common. Retro, yes. Sprint planning, Yes, but people do it differently, so I'm not sure if you do it efficiently. Not many on the capacity planning, which means managers don't probably consider your capacity, and tasks are thrown on you, which is a mistake. Backlog refinement, I have something to talk about this. A sprint checkpoint, nobody do it. Not many people, which is pretty important. Goal setting, again, not many people. So 2 important activities that not many people do it, and I want to talk about them. So we have different activities in Agile rituals. Many people stick to what you already mentioned. There are 2 important things, goal setting and backlog refinement, that not many of you doing that. With the goal setting, how you bring the stories to the sprint if you don't know what goals are you delivering. So my team just brought some random stories a few weeks ago, and I said, what is your goal? What sprint goal you're trying to achieve? And they said, no sprint goal, just tickets. And I said, please go and redo it. If you don't have a goal, you bring the random tickets, which doesn't really get you close to your end goal. So each sprint should have a goal. You have to have milestones. Each milestone should be a goal, and then you work on the sprints based on the goals. Otherwise, it's just waste of time. And at the end of the sprint, we measure if we partially achieve our goal, we didn't, or we did. If we didn't achieve our goal, we do some retro and understand why. Backlog refinement, another activity. Every other week, when I get all my tech leads and senior engineers together, we go through the backlog and we understand what is left, what should we do, and we try to avoid gut feeling, yeah, maybe, soon. We try to be data-driven, and I'll show you how. There are so many tools that you can leverage. If you use Jira, let's say, there are so many charts showing you from each epic how much work left. And based on that, you can shuffle around people, you can pay more attention in the epic in danger, and less probably emphasize on the other one. So you need to be able to say how much percentage of each epic left for your team. This one helps you understand if one story carrying over all the time in different sprints. Like one story here went carrying over in 3 sprints. Why? It's been almost 1 month and a half that your story is open. What's wrong? So you can figure out and find out the blockage. This one, you can see the dependency on the tickets. Usually people bring one story and then in the middle they say, oh no, that was dependent on another ticket I didn't realize, so I have to start over. Velocity chart, some of you should be aware of that. You compare how much you are committed, how much you delivered. So you kind of get to know your capacity, real capacity. PR cycle, most of the time tickets are stuck in the PR review. The development is quite fast, but the PR review is not. So you can measure those ones. If you serve customers, that shows you which customer is actually getting frustrated with you. The ones on the top right, the ones that stayed longer in the queue, and customers have a lot of comments and communication, but nobody served them, which means that they're getting your angry customers. So you prioritize those ones. So these are examples. I just want to show you, as a lead engineer, you need to be able to measure things and get away from your gut feelings and possibilities. The last part I want to talk about is healthy and focused team, which is more on your leadership and people side other than conductor and coaching. Have you ever felt project fatigue? Which means that you try to deliver, it's not getting finished. Like it's been years and years that you feel I'm still working on the same project and I didn't get anywhere. This is, I think, pretty common feeling. By breaking down the project into smaller pieces, you can actually say, we finished one milestone, let's celebrate it. And the team actually feels they're moving. They're not feeling stuck in the project. Each milestone feels like fresh project for them. So there are ways to celebrate and recognize your team. I'm not going deep down through them. You need to watch and observe the symptoms. If people are burnt out, if they are, like upset or like feeling fatigue, they are some, like, for example, they're catastrophizing situation. They're arguing a lot. You need to be aware and do something about it. This is my team motto: we win together, we lose together, which means nobody actually think about delivering their own work. Everyone try to be collaborative, pair programming, shadowing, mentoring, spend time with each other. At the end of the day, we are a team and we are delivering a whole big project together. 6 months later, when my team delivered things, everyone were happy. This is the last day. Oh, by the way, so far, every photos were AI generated. I just one by one generated them. This is my actual team when we actually finished a big milestone and we went on boat in Sydney. This is, like the feeling from my team. Great work, people. We delivered actually 2 weeks ahead of a schedule while the time was really tight from the beginning. People were, feeling productive, connected, energized. And I want to show you these numbers because I didn't smash the team at the end. People felt 100% satisfied with their manager, 94% satisfied with their team. So it wasn't like I delivered everything, but I'm tired, I need to leave the company, I'm done. No, they're actually happy. And these are some takeaways from these talks that I want you to take. So two-way communication with your stakeholders, break down MVP and your products into smaller epics, and celebrate milestones, build collaborative and supportive team, as well as being a data-driven engineers. It's really important. And take your agile rituals to be to the next step and make it more effective. Otherwise, it's waste of time. Clear roles and responsibilities. And at the end, observing symptoms within your team, being, like supportive of each other. It's a group like working together. I would love to hear your thoughts and one maybe learning from this session that you want to go and make it, like action, make an action, and try it in your team. And write it for me, and I would love to hear that. Maybe something new or something that you feel you haven't paid much attention to that. Thank you very much for listening to me. Have a great day.
Thank you, Nelly.